welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment and the sports capital of the world. Well, this week, Cinco de Mayo week, is going to be a special week because we have so much going on in boxing. Benavidez just fought last Saturday night. He won the the cruiserweight championship. He weighed 196 pounds that day. He's still looking for Canelo. He says, I want Canelo. Canelo was there that night, but I don't think Canelo's going to make that weight to go up to 195 and 196 cruiserweight unless Benavidez goes down. Our guest today is Jose Vargas.
Yes, sir.
And my co-host, Shelly Stevens.
Hey, nice to see you.
We'll talk a little bit about boxing. As you can see, after we get through this actually talk here, we're going to go in the ring. You can see the ring behind us. We're going to be jumping in that ring. We're going to do the miss. Jose Vargas is one of the best trainers out there in boxing today.
Appreciate that.
On a professional level. Now, Jose, you and I go back many years. I met you when you were a teenager. And your uncle, Gaspar Elinio Ortega,
yes, sir,
was my mentor. He's what got me started in boxing. I met him when I was 12 years old, a couple of years back. A couple of years ago.
Yes.
Anyway, here I am, 82 years young. I don't let the old man get into my body. And Shirley, you and your husband, you love to watch the fights, especially your husband. He got you hooked up on boxing now.
Oh, big time. Big time. He watches like old boxing matches all the time. Yeah. The other night, I think it was like 3 a.m, he's like, he's waking me up, and I'm like, what? And he goes, look, there's Joe right there. And I was like, oh, okay, right. So now I can just dream about Joe for the rest of the night. Thank you very much. Right? But yeah, oh God.
Anyway, but Jose Vargas is a gentleman originally from what, you were born in Tijuana?
Born in Tijuana, raised in San Diego.
San Diego.
Yeah, border kid.
Okay, so now you've been a trainer for how many years now?
About 15 to 20 years, I think.
Okay.
2007, yeah.
Good. Well, anyway, it's always good to have somebody on the show that talks about boxing, somebody very knowledgeable like yourself.
Yes, sir.
You bring so much to boxing. There's not many people out there that really know boxing inside out the way you do.
Thank you so much.
So what inspired you to get into boxing? Was it your uncle?
No, I didn't even know he boxed.
Oh.
I didn't know. It was like kept away from us.
Uncle who?
Gaspar Ortega. That's what, and
yeah.
We didn't discuss it in the house. I saw some little kids playing, when I was playing baseball, Little League, they had boxing trophies. And then I found out that there was boxing for kids. Mm-hmm. I wanted to go to the gym. My mom, I convinced her to take me to an old gym in San Diego called Spud Murphy's Gym. Mm-hmm. That was a gym where people like James Kitchen, Terry Norris trained at, guys from that era. So I went in that gym, and then later on, I found out my Tio Fausto came to the house, and he said, boxing's in your blood. And then I'm 11 years old, and I started finding out that I had an uncle who fought for the world title, and we would get into Joe and stuff, because they live in the East Coast, so we didn't see them.
Right.
And I was like, wow, I didn't know any of this. And then, no wonder it was in my blood.
Yeah,
well, Gaspar Ortega was one of the great fighters, welterweight. He never became world champion, even though he beat Benny Kid Perret. Perret was world champion, and back in those days, you could fight for a non-title fight. And he fought Gaspar Ortega, and Gaspar beat him in a 10-round fight, but the title was not on the line. So anyway, Emma Griffith did give Gaspar a shot at the title, and Gaspar Ortega had 176 professional fights, and he only got stopped twice. One was Sandro Mancini in Italy in between rounds in the corner, and one where Emma Griffith gave him a shot at the title, and they stopped it in the 11th round. TKO.
That was a rematch, huh?
It was a rematch.
Yeah. The
first fight, Gaspar lost to Emma Griffith, but at the time they had 2 judges, and the third judge was the referee as well. You referee and judge that simultaneously. Oh. So Arthur McCandy was the referee for that fight. Would you believe that Arthur McCandy was up close for that fight? Those 10 rounds, it was a 10-round fight, not a title fight, but it was a 10-round fight. That was when Emma Griffith was coming up, and Arthur McCandy scored 8-2 in favor of Gaspar Ortega. The other 2 judges scored 8-2 the other way around. So anyway, people say, wow, what happened there? I don't know. But the thing was that Arthur McCandy was closer to it. He felt Gaspar won the fight. But Gaspar was really a top-notch fighter, but nobody would give him a shot to the title. But Griffith gave him a shot to the title after Gaspar already had 80 professional fights under his belt.
Wow.
You see? They won't fight him when he was in his prime. He was going towards the tail end of his career. But Gaspar, besides having 80 professional fights, he finished up with 176 professional fights.
Yeah.
And you had too many fighters. One year in 1964, if you look at BoxRec, you fans out there watching, BoxRec, You can see that in 1964, he had 29 fights in 1 year. Yes, you heard that right. 29 fights, okay?
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
That's a career for the average boxer.
For average fight, yeah, 29 fights. I mean, how many fights Canelo
It's close to 60. But that's been a 12, I don't know, 20 years?
Yeah. But Gaspar Ortega, he was really top-notch. He started back in the early, mid-50s. Actually, he started boxing when he was 17 years old.
Yeah.
And he snuck in. His real name is really Gaspar Benitez.
Yes.
And he used Ortega because that was his mother's maiden name. And he didn't want nobody to find out that he was boxing because she didn't want him to fight. So he snuck around and you used her maiden name so she would know that it was him.
Yeah.
So that's why they used Gaspar Ortega. But you always see Benitez.
Should have changed his first name, though. His name wasn't that popular.
Yeah, Gaspar.
Yeah.
But Gaspar is still one of the great ones, and may he rest in peace.
Yes, sir.
He passed away 5 years ago. And he has a son named Mike Ortega, who turned out to be a referee. I helped him train to be top-notch referee. He got about 40 title fights on his belt as a referee. And, it just goes to show that we're like family members.
Yeah.
I mean, your family and I, we're like family.
I always can reach out to you. That's the most important thing to me. I can call you. And I had a fight one time in Mexico for the world title for the WBC. And I called Joe. I said, Joe, I need your help. Can you come down here? Because I felt like I wasn't getting a fair shake. And Joe showed up. We got him a flight, and he showed up, and he cornered my fight against Gallito Estrada for the WBC world title.
Right.
And yeah, we didn't pull it off, but that was just the experience to know that I can reach out to him.
Yes.
And he cornered with me the fight. That was, to me, that was it.
Joe's very inspiring in
Yes.
that way, too. Like you said, you can call him for anything, and he'll be right there to help and jump right on in. That's why we love him, too. Oh, my God. So what inspired you to be a trainer? I believe you were a trainer?
Yes. What inspired me, I didn't want to train. I just kind of fell into it during the economy in 2007 when the economy crashed. I just started going to the gym because I was going to go crazy at home.
Yeah.
And I started seeing all these little 10 and 12-year-old kids kind of lost with there's a lot of guys coaching boxing now that they don't teach the real boxing. What I mean, from this balance, from the jab, the most important things. And I started I said I would never be a coach, and I ended up falling in love with the coaching. Just coaching 10, 12-year-old kids and then taking them to fight. And small shows became national shows and international tournaments in the amateur circuit. And the rest is history.
You talked about the trainers that train these fighters, that they didn't train them the right way. I believe sometimes you got to train the trainers.
Yeah.
There's some trainers that don't know the game.
Yeah.
Some people, they get in there, they think just because they watch the fight doesn't qualify them to be a certified trainer.
Exactly.
I think that a trainer like yourself, you've been around and you've been around good fighters, and you know the game inside out. And a lot of individuals, a lot of trainers, they get these young kids, they put them out there. I believe a good trainer should show them good defense.
Exactly.
Good defense is so important. I mean, offense is you got to win. To win a fight, you got to have good offense. But defense is important because you get the name of the game is hit, don't get hit. And people say, you got to move around, move, come out clean. My whole career of boxing, I never got a broken nose, no cauliflower ears, no cuts. I never got dropped in my whole career. 43-2 as an amateur, 81 as a pro, never hit the canvas. I went down one time in training. A guy named Tony Tazo. And he was a National Golden Glove champion, and I was sparring with him at the CYO in the Bronx, New York. And there was Billy Bello, who fought Gaspar Ortega main event one time. And Gaspar Ortega beat Billy Bello, and a week later, Billy Bello passed away. Oh. He was on drugs. He decided to do heroin, and he died overdose. Oh, man. But I was training at the gym, my common CYO, and Tony Townsend was the National Golden Glove champion. It was my first year. I was just 15 years old when I started. He put me down with a combination of punches. That was the only time I remember ever getting knocked down. But, it was good for me. I learned a lot. But trainers, I believe so many trainers have to be trained. I call some of these trainers, I call them a gym rat. They come around the gym, they're there all the time watching, all of a sudden they start training fighters. Just because they're watching these fighters train and watch the trainers trained out one day, they think they can become trainers automatically. It's not that way. No. You got to do your homework like you have throughout your years. You start with the amateur kids, you learn from your family, your uncle, how to box. You watch your uncle, you watch your game. And the game is very important, defense.
Yes.
You will see fighters take unnecessary punishment.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got these fighters in the gym. They have wars in the gym. You really don't want to see that in the gym because you got a fighter who's fighting and he gets hurt in training. He got a fight coming up next week. He goes into the fight damaged goods already.
Yeah.
So we don't want to see fighters, get hurt or pass away because of it. I think every year you have over 20 fighters worldwide that die from blows to the head.
Yeah.
And that's because they don't have good defense. Some of them are just, they got to lose so much weight. They're not ready to fight that fight. Or maybe they got knocked out in the 2 previous fights and they come in for the 3rd fight. Damaged goods. People say, his record shows, I told referees, look at his record. How did he do the last 4 or 5 fights? I know I used to do my homework. I watch the fighters and see how they do the last couple of fights. I think he got knocked out twice before in the last 3 or 4 fights. So I'm going to be careful with him. I'm going to give him the instructions in the dressing room. I'm clean slate, but I'm going to watch him close. And I tell the doctor and his cornerman, I'm here to protect both fighters, like I used to tell Mike Tyson. I did Tyson 8 times. I would tell Mike Tyson, Mike, I'm here to protect you and protect your fighter. You understand? I don't want fighters to take unnecessary punishment.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Cortez. I said, okay, good. But that was Mike. But talking about trainers, so important that they learn the game inside out.
There's moments where my guys are sparring, and I don't even allow them to throw a punch. The other guy doesn't know that, so we go in there, parry, slip, focus on defense, balance, defense, or I let them just jab. But I want everything to be off of defense, and to me, the most important components is balance, jab, and defense.
That's right.
Those are the 3
very
for
important.
me.
Very important. And the guy Cortez used to tell me there was a guy that fought my brother Mike. Mike was one of the original Golden Boy, Mike Golden Boy Cortez, back in the 60s. And Mike was fighting a guy named Luis Ortiz Aponte, a southpaw. He beat my brother Mike. And then he was out there talking, blabbing off his mouth, and I want to be the other brother. The Cortez brother, I want to be the other one. But I was 118 pounds of bantamweight. So then he was a featherweight, 126. So the Golden Glove, Spanish Golden Glove was around the corner. So I signed up. That's a 126-pounder. I went in there because I wanted to fight that guy. I want to get even. And I fought a guy for your father, your uncle. Yeah. He told me the joke with the southpaw guy. He said, move this way, uppercut his side and hook. Move that, move. Uppercut his side and hook over the top. And I said, okay. I went out there. I kicked that guy's butt. Guy taught me how to fight the southpaw.
Yeah.
There's different ways to fight the southpaws, But my left hook was one of my best punches. I would bam, 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 bam. Left hook was good. And with a southpaw, being much closer, when you're a southpaw, you're closer.
Yeah.
Of course, you also, as a referee, I tell referees, be careful with the headbutt, because the heads are closer. When you're a southpaw, your heads are closer, or you may be stepping on his foot.
Yeah.
Those are 2 things you referee got to watch out for. Headbutt and stepping on a guy's foot.
Yeah.
And of course you got to be on the open door. Some referees on the blind side, you don't see the punches where they get hit. Southpaw this way, your right hand, the referee's on the wrong side. The referee got to be at the open side. So you can see.
See, that's smart. Nobody says that. That's a referee.
Yeah, so as a referee, you can see the punch. If a punch is here, you can see it hit here. But I'm here. But if I'm here,
don't see it.
I miss it. I'm on the blind side. So I told referee, stay at the open door. The referee move around, uppercut, boom, he hit me in the back. Some guys, I got hit low. But if you're on that side, you think he hit him low. But if you're this side, you say, no, he hit you here. And the body shot. So that's very important with boxing.
My husband's going to love this show. Everything you just said, he was telling me when we watched you that night at 3 o'clock in the morning. He's telling me everything you just said. Look,
you heard this before.
A million times. Look, see, when he does this, he's doing this. And when he does that, and I'm like, okay, great. I'm like learning so much about boxing. I'm so honored to meet you.
I'm honored to meet you.
He talks about your uncle all the time, and we bring him up on every show that we do. He always owes everything to your uncle.
You have anything?
It's a pleasure.
It's pleasure is wise.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Joe. Who's your favorite referees right now?
Favorite referee right now? I like Thomas Taylor's good.
That's my boy right there.
The guy from New Jersey, tall, skinny guy. He's another referee from New Jersey, Hobby Doc. Hobby Doc's pretty good. And I like Robert Hoyle.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
He's coming up pretty good. He did Unene.
Yeah.
Was it the Japanese fighter, the monster?
Inoue?
Inoue. He did the Inoue last week in Japan. He was scheduled to do the fights here on the Benavides card.
Yeah.
But he took that fight in Japan instead. So Benavides did a good fight that night.
Awesome fight, man.
Awesome fight with Ramirez. Esulo Ramirez.
Yeah, we kind of picked that and I saw that coming. Just he's too fast, too explosive.
He's not muscle bound. He's kind of look like a little flabby, a 196.
Yeah.
And he came in there. He had all the speed. I mean, Ryan Garcia was sitting right next to me. Ryan Garcia is a big fan of his.
Yeah.
And so was Mike Tyson was with him too. Mike Tyson, they love this kid.
Yeah.
And Benavidez shows a lot of talent there. He's going to be probably one of the faces in boxing right now.
That's what we said, yeah.
Besides, you got Canelo, who's up there. Canelo's doing real good. Canelo's still he's still up there. His name is up there. Everybody wants to see Benavidez and Canelo, but I don't think that's going to happen.
It's too small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we got Floyd Mayweather fight and Pacquiao fight September 29th.
Is it happening?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, the rematch. Because Pacquiao says I can beat this guy. I know Pacquiao. I mean, Mayweather wants to make an exhibition. They said no. We signed a contract for a real fight.
Real fight.
This goes on the paper as a real fight.
Yep.
Yeah, but I remember one time I was sparring with a guy in Hawaii, and Gasper was fighting on one of the cars there, but there was a guy named Eddie Pace, who was a middleweight. Eddie Pace, he wanted me to spar with for speed. That's what your uncle used to use me for speed. So I was boxing with this guy, Eddie Pace, who's a middleweight. He had knocked out Bobo Olsen. And I said, wow, this guy's a pretty good puncher. And I got in there with him, I was boxing with him, and I closed his eye. He had headgear, I closed his eye up, And the guy was pissed off. I'm a little bantamweight, 118 pounds. I closed his eye.
I heard you had that crack with that hook, man.
Yeah. So anyway, he the next day, he come back the next day. Also, he shows up with his wife, and he had a baby in the stroller, like a 2-year-old kid with him, and his wife. And I said to myself, he never comes in with his wife. Why he bring his wife? She probably want to see who did that to his eye, So he got to say, Joe, we're going to spar again today, right? And I said, yeah, okay. So I got in there with him again. Now I'm careful. I know the guy will try to knock my head off. I'm moving. He tried everything he could to knock my head off. He couldn't do it, man. And I said, wow. He said, okay, we did like 4 or 5 rounds. He said, that's it, Joe. Okay, that's it. We got out. The trainer said, all right, that's it, Joe. No more today. 5 rounds enough. Because he saw the guy was trying to kill him, but couldn't do it.
Joe, how many weight divisions was it back then? Was there, like there is
12.
now?
There were 12
weight divisions.
They were flyweight. They were flyweight 112. They're not 15. Now they got 15, 112. They got flyweight. They have featherweight. They got the flyweight, bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight. 9. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Do you like that more, or do you like the opportunity? You guys have 18 weight divisions now.
It has the pros and cons. Because, there's fighters today that can't make the weight. And there's fighters are fighting at 147, and maybe he's having trouble making 147, but he's walking around like a 155, 56, 57, 58. He got to go back down to 147. He say, I would rather fight at 160. So they created the 154 division. So he paid, instead of 147, they can fight 154. The 160 is in between 154, in between 160 and 147.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fighters that would rather do that. It's good for the sanctioning bodies. It's like a business now. Sanctioning bodies have all these sanctioning fees coming in, go down. Instead of having just 8 champions, now you got maybe 30 some odd champions.
Yeah.
Like right now, you have who's the heavyweight champion? I don't know. Who's the middleweight champion? I don't know. Because they got so many champions out there. If we got 4 sanctioning bodies. So, it's okay to some extent for fighters to have an opportunity to come on with a championship belt. Now, I didn't get a championship belt. I got it for the Hall of Fame
so
2 weeks ago.
So my Tío Gaspar would have fought, and this time he would have been like a champion because of all the weight divisions and all the different sanctioning bodies, right?
For sure.
Who was a sanctioning body back then when he fought?
It was the NBA was the first original sanctioning body. Then it came out to be WBA. Then they had the WBC. That was it.
Those two.
WBC, WBA, NBA, and WBC.
Okay.
Then WBA came around. Then the IBF came around. Then the WBO came around.
Those are the 4.
Now you got 4: WBO, IBF, WBA, WBC. And the green belt. Everybody wants that green belt. WBC is the most respected of all. But, I say become champion, anyone that's actually body is good enough for me.
Yeah, just to get an opportunity is good enough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm just fascinated by this conversation. I'm serious.
Well,
so you live in San Diego
San
now?
Diego's home, yes, for us, yes.
So how long are you going to be in Vegas this time?
Just till Sunday. The fights are on Sunday, and then we're going to head home. We're just going to check out this new promotion company. I want to give some props to Joe real quick. Joe, about 8 to 10 years ago, maybe I don't know the time frame, but around that time, he was telling me about Devin Haney. And he was telling me he was going to be world champion, and I kind of laughed. I didn't tell him that. I was like, oh, yeah, whatever. But I said, oh, yeah, he's good. I didn't see it, and he was right.
Oh.
He was right.
Well, I met David Haney up in Mesquite, Nevada. That's about 5 miles north of Las Vegas. And he was fighting in a PAL tournament. It was a juvenile, young kids. He was young. He was 10 years old at the time. And I saw this kid boxing. After he got out of the ring, I said, come here, kid. What's your name? He said, David Haney. I said, who's your trainer? He said, my father. Where is he? Bring him over here. He brought his father over, Bill. I said, Mr. Haney, this kid here, championship material. This kid going to be world champion one day.
Yeah.
He got what it takes to be world champion. He said, you think so? We're hoping that it happens. He said, Joe, coming from you, that means a lot. I said, I can tell you right now, he's going to be world champion.
Yeah.
When he was 20 years old, he won his first championship. WBC lightweight champion.
Yeah.
Okay. And today he's up there, still up there, one of the highest rankings.
Yes.
Fighter. If you talk about 5 good fighters, he's in the top 5.
Yeah. He's in the pound for pound, yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't see that when you told me. I was like, okay. And he was right.
Yeah,
so I gotta give him his props right now.
You got pictures of him. That's a young kid 10 years old
Yeah.
next to me. Well, one day he came to my house with his father, and his father said, Joe, I got a contract that they got for my son to sign this contract. And it's a nice contract. I saw the contract. It was below $1 million. I told him, Mr. Haney, I wouldn't even touch it. He looked at me like, what? I said, don't even touch it. And I think he's worth more than that right now. He was already coming up really good.
Yeah.
And then he signed the contract, and a couple of months later he said, Joe, we signed a contract and we went into the millions.
That's right.
I said, good, I'm glad to hear that.
That having an advisor. Imagine if he didn't have Joe, he would have signed that contract.
Yeah.
Somebody to advise him.
Exactly.
Somebody to advise that you respect in the sport, you know?
Yeah, well, he came over to my house where I'm living at right now. He came inside of my living room, and I gave him both a good advice. Listen, you're going to start making some good money. One thing you want to be careful is how you spend your money. Don't be buying no fancy cars and no fancy clothes, jewelry, all that. You don't need all that stuff. Save your money, because one day you're not going to be champion and you're going to wish you had that money put aside. He said, all right. And when I went outside, I saw a nice Corvette out there. And then the father had another fancy car. I said, what? They guys are spending money already. They're not making the millions yet. They already spent the money on cars. But I did the two-by advice, and they do pretty good.
Yeah.
They did okay. I think he's doing okay for himself. And I hope that he keeps himself clean and be humble. And don't let the championship or your fame go to your head. Be a nice guy, be humble with everybody, and help out, and always pay it forward.
Yes, sir. Yes, definitely. You've been doing it.
I've been doing the best
Yeah.
I could. I try to be the best that I can. I'm not saying I was the best, but I was hard to beat.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but you're paying forward in your kind heart. That's you.
That's the best way to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Anyway,
what attracted us.
Well,
to
anyway,
Joe.
Jose, who's coming up next for your fights? What fight?
Right now, we got a fight in Colorado Springs. We got a kid named Kyle Irwin. He's fighting on May 30th for a small title in Colorado, and he's the kid that's going to break to the next level right now. And then we have another kid named Jose Cholet that's fighting in the boxing league, and we're trying to get him signed with the promoter right now. They're all young prospects, all these young men that I have right now.
Okay, now, which famous fighters are you trained?
The most is Dwayne Beeman, the one that fought for the WBC, for flyweight, and then Brian Figueroa, who's 20-1 right now, and we're trying to get him to fight back. We're trying to get. If we don't sign with somebody, we're not going to get an opportunity. So we're trying to sign him with a big promoter right now.
And did you help out with fighters like Canelo Alvarez?
Oh, I've been in camp with Canelo for like maybe, I would say like over 12 camps. Ryan Garcia did the fight before this when he did it at our gym. Who else? We sparred with Rayo Valenzuela. We worked with Andre Ward.
How about Manny Pacquiao?
Manny Pacquiao, we're going to be starting a league in San Diego next year in February with him, a fight league, and that's going to be enticing because I got the little young Filipino fighters that I have. But he's having a team in San Diego formed with Tijuana and San Diego, It's going to be. Actually, so we're announcing it first, but it's going to be happening. It's going to be happening next year in February. I'll give you a call when he comes to the gym.
Yeah, they do that. I'd
Yeah.
like to have you on the show again before that.
Yeah, definitely.
We can talk about it.
Yeah,
for more than a
definitely.
bit.
When it comes closer to the time.
Yeah, so-
Absolutely. Then one of those nights we're going to have to bring him to Lola's because I'm sure my husband is going to, he's going to be
yeah,
so
let's
happy
do
to
it.
meet you.
Yeah, her and her husband perform at Lola's 5 nights a week, right?
5 nights a week, yeah.
And the hours?
Let's see. On the weekends, it's 6 to 10. Fridays and Saturdays. Sundays, I believe, it's like 5 to 8. And Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah. Wednesday,
Saturday-
Thursday, we're there. I get them all mixed up. 6 to 9.
Saturday 6 to 10.
Yes.
That's what I always go.
What's it called? Lola's?
Lola's.
And
It's
Lola's restaurant is a Cajun food restaurant.
New Orleans
Her and her
style.
husband, he does sing Motown music. Or any type of music, but mainly Motown back for the 70s.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would love
Yeah.
that.
I'm gonna have to
Oh my
swing by.
God.
Maybe we'll go tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's a great plan.
Yeah.
Let's make it. I'll call the owners, TJ Carlos,
They
because
really-
Joe has his own table
Oh,
because he's there every week.
that's right.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, this is going to be great tomorrow
Yeah.
then.
Well, anyway, Jose, I want to tell you thank you so much for being on the show today. We're in Las Vegas, and we wish you best of luck this coming Saturday. Your fighter name again?
Caleb Hall.
Caleb Paul?
Hall.
Hawk?
Hall. Hall.
Oh, Hall.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Okay, Caleb Hall, Hall. He's what weight is he?
He's with light heavyweight, 175.
175. And what's his record?
He's 7-2.
7-2.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how many rounds is he fighting?
He's fighting 6 rounds.
6 rounds.
Yeah.
So you're here training for him, getting
Yes.
him ready for Saturday night. Okay, so that's tomorrow night. So what is he doing today?
Sunday night. That's Sunday night. They fight on Sunday.
Sunday night. Where's that at again?
We fight on Sunday at the Apex Center right here for the new boxing league with Dana White.
Okay.
He's fighting at the Apex Center, and today he just trained. Tomorrow's our weigh-in.
Yeah. How's his weight?
He's good. He's already on weight.
He's all right?
Yeah, last night. Today, as of right now,
Yeah.
he's 1 pound over, so that's no problem.
Yeah, you can work out.
Yeah, sweat it out.
Okay, Jose. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you
for
guys
being
so
on the
much.
show.
Appreciate both you
And we'll
guys.
see you guys. Thanks a lot. God bless you.
Likewise.
Remember, guys, thank you for listening on the show today. And remember, I'm fair, but I'm firm. Touch them up. Shelly, knockout queen.
Shelly, give me some love, Shelly.
Take care.
All right.
See you next week.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Joe.